Seems this thing is backfiring. The California flavored tobacco ban is backfiring in California. So, what's this about? So, let me give you a little background. Last November, 63% of Californians chose to ban flavored tobacco products statewide by voting on Proposition 31. Maybe you remember that. It's all part of this thing to discourage tobacco use, particularly among kids. Most notably, illicit flavored tobacco product sales have increased while state revenues have decreased since they banned them. Products not covered by the ban have entered into the black market, and the rate of cigarette smoking remains unchanged. A recent report by the Tax Foundation estimates it's a loss of nearly $300 million in California tax revenue due to the ban. These lost funds are not from individuals quitting smoking. The data suggests that cigarette sales will only experience a marginal decline. Instead, those who use flavored nicotine products will purchase from illicit sources and across state lines, and people are finding a way to get them. This is just further proof that prohibition doesn't work. We see that with the drug war. You see it here too. In fact, a lot of these flavored tobacco products were in vaping products, where maybe it wasn't necessarily tobacco, but it was flavored nicotine vaping. And those are banned. To me, that's crazy because there's a lot of people that are trying to quit tobacco and using a vape product just to kind of get the nicotine fix without all of the downside from a tobacco product. That's a net benefit for smokers. It's a way to wean themselves off of smoking. It's an escape. That's a good thing. And we need to see more of that. Absolutely. So the fact that this is backfiring to me is funny. I mean, because I knew this was going to fail. I mean, because obviously it's going to fail. Ultimately, according to this article, this is from the Orange County Register, ultimately, the overreaching attempt to regulate human behavior through legal restraints rarely, if ever, benefits the individuals most directly affected by these sociological experiments. A recent paper published in the Journal of American Medical Association reported that targeted enforcement activities such as flavor bans were not associated with any significant change in e-cigarette use in underage vapors, which raises the question, why are we banning products less harmful than cigarettes that are proven to help adult smokers switch? Exactly. Positive tobacco harm reduction policies with clear and science-based education incentivize the switch to reduce risk products that allow people to make their own personal choices, leads to behavioral changes without criminalizing a subset of our population. Exactly. These are conclusions that we each need to make on our own. And besides the fact that the products have warning labels on them that are, crazy warning labels. But in the end, people need to make these choices for themselves, because if you ban it, it's like forbidden fruit. People are still going to reach out and get it. People will find a way. And then the hilarious part of this is that the government has been taxing these so heavily to so-called discourage use, and taxing heavily to create a revenue source for some of these other altruistic, healthcare programs and the like. Now they're suffering a huge revenue decline because now people are just buying it on the black market. I mean, some of that's even happening with cannabis, where people are buying cannabis on the black market because California and many local cities have been too aggressive taxing it to the point that it's just so much cheaper to buy illicitly. And that's counterproductive, isn't it? So I don't know. I just think this is, this is expected, what just happened here. People are still buying the flavored tobacco products or the flavored nicotine. They're just getting it from other sources. A friend of mine who to this day still chews tobacco was really, really disappointed when they banned the flavored tobacco ban. Because, most people thought that was only for, cigarettes or vaping. But he gets a can of Skoal and he chews on it. It's terribly unhealthy. But he's a good friend of mine. And I think used to always have the menthol. They have a lot of different flavored ones of that. And then those were all banned and he could only buy the regular flavor. I remember he was pissed. but I think he was just grinning and bearing it. But he hasn't told me yet if he's buying it illicitly. He might be. I need to check in with him. Okay.